Hey everybody, it was time to start a new game and add it to our multiple series of games that we play here on the channel. Since, we finished Last of Us, and so I decided we'll start Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. I think it makes sense with the fact that we've also been playing Baldur's Gate for the Twitch and YouTube channel to prepare for Baldur's Gate 3. I think it makes sense to go through the Divinity games because Larian Studio, who is working on Baldur's Gate 3. We'll play it by ourselves, and I kind of just want the story. So I'm going to keep the basic appearances because I don't really care too much about that. But I am going to make one a cleric and one a knight. So that way we have a good starting setup. And then I'm also going to give... I'm going to get rid of Anaconda. So that way I can have Pet Pal. Because that's important to me to have in Divinity. And you'll see why. I've never finished any of the Divinity... Well, no, that's not true. I finished Dragon Commander, which is not an RPG out of the Divinity series, but it is part of the Divinity series. It's a tactics game. Well, not tactics game. It's a real-time strategy game. With RPG elements.
Of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source. But a terrible darkness invaded the land, and Source was forever tainted. The sorcerers who once healed now only destroy, and madness has overtaken them. A few brave Source hunters are all that stand between Riverlon and the dark power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears, hunters follow.
Rise and shine, Master Source Hunters. The camp wants you up on deck. Hear them calls? Means we're close to shore. I don't ever you're going there, Master Source Hunters. City's full of undead, hungry and out for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the counselor in. Source in a city like Sicil, nowhere safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir.
God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Sicil. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off in the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both.
And, so yeah, this is the start. Although it's not the furthest back, we should have probably started with Dragon Commander, because in terms of, like, not release order, but in terms of chronological order, it's Dragon Commander, Original Sin, the rest of the franchise, Original Sin 2. And the rest of the franchise is in release order, so it's Divine Divinity, Beyond Divinity, Divinity 2, and then Divinity Original Sin 2. I'm trying to remember some of the controls here. There's a... Okay, so triangle lets me access my bottom map. Right trigger, right D-pad lets me attack freely. Down lets me hide. Up lets me have a higher camera. Kind of a tactics camera. L2 lets me switch characters. There we go. R2 opens my logs and everything. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And of course we can split the party, as you can see. But right now we don't need to. There we go. R3 lets me see everything on the map. Labels everything. Which is what I want.
If I didn't know there were orc ships raiding to the west, I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that'll strike with neither warning nor mercy.
Of course, if I didn't have that, I could search by holding X. But there's a reason I haven't finished any of the other ones besides Dragon Commander. As for the original games like Divine Divinity, Beyond Divinity, and Divinity 2, I've just never started them. But I own them. I own copies of them. I own copies of all the Divinity games. As for the original Sin games, which I have started multiple times for both of them, they're just so massive, and you're gonna see that as we play this. They are massive, and
Is
so
that a corpse? What's it doing here alone?
What? Did you expect it to have an entourage?
So let's open the Traveler's Journal, actually. Oh, we've got a few things open, so. The Order of the Source Hunters, a brief history. When Source was tainted so many centuries ago, sorcerers who had once brought great good began to wield a force of evil. When one of their kind, Brachus Rex, came to power, he instigated a war that would have undone Revelon if not for the Council of Seven. These wise rulers ordered a new order of elite warriors especially trained to fight the Source Menace. Brachus was defeated, and the Order of the Source Hunters began its legacy. Our objective is to eradicate the Source Menace from Rivellon one sorcerer at a time, recognizing Source. Unlike other forms of magic, Source is particularly difficult to identify. Mages of many years' experience may learn to sense the presence of Source as others smell the sick, sweet scent of poison or hear the barely perceptible scrape of a sword loosened from its hilt. Source may be channeled through certain objects, weapons, gems, or metals. These are unpredictable as Source itself and may inflict terrible harm or magnificent feats of healing upon either wielder or target. Methodology of the Source Hunter. Ours is an order of cunning and cleverness as much as strength and power. The well-trained Source Hunter will examine and question The well-trained source hunter will examine and question, lift every barrel, and analyze each testimony for the faintest breath of a clue. Nothing is insurmountable. If some knot puzzles you, mark its location upon your map and return to it when you've learned a better method of untangling it. There are no limits to a source hunter's resolve. No riddle is unknowable. No foe unbeatable. No mystery unsolvable. Orders. Source hunters. Your orders are to investigate the recent murder of Counselor Jake and inspect the city of Sisal for evidence of source magic. Your liaison in Sisal will be a wizard named Aru, who is anxiously awaiting your arrival. Due to the nature of your mission, we've put at your disposal some of the most powerful spells and magics known to the Order, but treat them with caution and tread with care. Scrolls such as these are very rare. We'd advise you not to blow through your entire arsenal at once. Good luck and Godspeed. Signed, Captain Watrous. In fact, yeah, they gave us a resurrect scroll. I think both of us have one. Yep. We also both have the Order of the Source and orders. We also both have a minor healing potion on hand. Holy hand grenade for Scarlet. For Roderick, we've got the Firestorm grenades. Also got a golden grail. Once an alchemist's simple bronze chalice, this grail was in just the right place at just the right time when its owner mastered the art of transmuting base metals. He charmed the grail with the power to transform basic clothes and armors from a simple cloth and steel to lavish gold, and he never ran out of cash again. Wait, so this can turn whatever into that? Oh, Sandalor's trunks. Your grandmother always did advise you to buy underwear that underpants that breathe, after all. Let's see, what are we wearing right now, actually? Yep. So, let's see, what does it do? It just gives us an extra 100 durability. Doesn't really do anything. Out of curiosity. Basic clothes and armors. Aha. Sorry. So, out of curiosity then, let's unequip these, because they don't do anything. Anyways. And of course, we have to try this. This is actually, I don't usually play with the crafting in these games, so. Oh, wah, wah. Okay. Had to try. Okay. Some more gold. Let's go back around and collect over there. There's a reason why we're going back around. Actually, yeah, we'll want to do this. Dang, they got away. But yeah, we'll go to the tutorial dungeon in a second. And we'll help this guy out in a second as well. Ishmael. We're gonna take that shovel. That's important. Shovel is good to have. A shovel is very good to have in Divinity. Pet pal and shovels. Those are like the two basic tenets of what you should have in Divinity, in my opinion. Like, if you probably don't start with a shovel, but you should get one as soon as possible. Alright, let's see what they were stealing from here.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
You're like a gorilla in a porcelain store.
Hey, it worked.
This is where the ancient kings and queens of Sicil were buried, back before sorcerers vanished from the land. I hear voices muttering about it now and then. Is that normal?
And that's why you get Pet Pal. So you can talk to animals.
Careful, there's a mine in the middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in protecting whatever's kept here.
Can either of us disarm it? I don't think we can. Yeah. You would need a rogue of some sort to do that.
I've always heard there's typically more to a king's tomb than meets the eye.
It could be a myth, or it could be our lucky day.
Lockpicks. Perfect. Oh yeah, we didn't even read the Traveler's Journal. We got distracted. June 21st. Rejoice, for the statues have granted my wish. Their whimsical nature, however, must not be taken lightly, so before I soar through the sky like an eagle, I shall attempt a mere hop from the cliffs down at the beach. This should be a small feat for the man that can fly. If this experiment is successful, the sun shall be my next target. Oh, so this man thought he could... The guy that died on the beach thought he could fly. Whoop! Gravekeeper Ragequin, tend the graves in the antechamber before moving into the inner rooms. To proceed, stand very close to the impressed button and press the button that appears on its right-hand side.
Can you believe this? The man jumped off a cliff at the behest of some statues, of all things.
Pure madness. How could somebody be so utterly naive?
Pure madness.
Oh.
How could someone be so utterly naive?
I forgot that for the first game they do read it for you.
Rivellon is no stranger to the supernatural.
I'm gonna make
He
him the
might well
cynic.
have flown into the sunset and looked down at us cynics, laughing.
I'm gonna make him the cynic and her a little bit more of a believer. Yeah. He's gonna be pragmatic, she'll be romantic. Because I like the idea of them being opposites a little bit in this particular case anyways. Talking Statues Quest, The Mysterious Murder, and Source Hunter's Journey. Oh. Oh yeah, and then you can see our traits. Yep, see. Ooh, the cloth bracers have a little more durability. Yeah.
I've spotted something interesting.
Yep, she found the button that we read about. Do it again.
You're like a gorilla in a porcelain store.
I bless the rains down in Africa, because we're going to need it. Although, let's see if we can we pick this up? We're pretty strong. Nope, not that strong. Okay, but we can... No? Not that strong, huh? Not strong enough to move it. Oh, well. Okay, well then.
You're like a gorilla in a porcelain store.
Hey, it's working, ain't it?
Hold! Our enemies have laid a trap.
Yep. And so you're starting to see some of the stuff that's going to be useful for BG3 that they've already, like, if you've been watching the channel and you've seen us play Baldur's Gate 3 a little bit in the early access, that Larian's already played with, which is more destructible and interactable environments, which is something Larian's played with for at least as far as Original Sin. To my knowledge, I don't know about any time like with the older Divinity games, but I at least know within the Original Sin franchise they have played with this kind of gameplay. Got a cap. Keep the environment interactable and kind of, you know, make it to where if the player notices something that they can destroy that could help them, make that worth the while of the player to notice. And it's something Larian's really good at, for that matter. Let's go ahead and put the cap on. Lockpicks. Did I go all the way over there? Yeah, I did. Okay. And we didn't even have to use the rain spell. We could have used the rain spell. That was an alternate solution. But we didn't. Here, one of our solutions. I have a couple solutions here that I can use. I could either throw my Firestorm Grenade, or I could use the Fireball Scroll that they just gave us. Specifically so we can learn to, hey, you can use your Fireball Scroll to do this. So let's go ahead and do that, actually, since that's what they gave us. And now, multiple options of what to do here. I can kind of sneak around like this because it's a small enough fire circle. But I could have also, if it was bigger, use the rain scroll they gave us to put that fire back out. And then we can walk there, like right across it. Or we can wait it out. Multiple options that they give us. Now, we wouldn't have been able to wait out the poison cloud, because the poison cloud is there to be in our way. So, we would have had to, like, puzzle a solution past it still.
Oh, hum.
And there's a switch there. But of course, the interactable environment includes moving chests and stuff like that. And so there's our lever to get us into the next room. See, it's unlocked that door. Of course, I'm not done checking out the area. So we're not going to quite leave yet.
What's this?
Oh.
I found something.
Another lever. Oh, I think that's the initial way you're supposed to use to get through there if you don't see the other one.
I've spotted something
Yeah.
interesting.
Now here, in order to get past the
What's this?
poison,
I found something.
we have to actually move some barrels on top of where the poison is coming from. Puzzle solving. There's the last one. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just has to be on there. Alright, now we can give Scarlet a cap.
I think I hear voices downstairs.
The last thing we need is to surprise another angry summoner.
Actually, that's exactly what we need to do. Because I'd rather not them see us.
I sense enemies nearby.
My robes are soaked! You better hope there's no hint of a flame in this place. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. No one can get in here but us and the boss. You
Once again.
don't know that. Those cultists have been poking about for days.
Once again, problem solving. And they haven't seen Scarlet yet, so Scarlet actually has pretty much free action during this. Or was that it? Was that it? Was it just those two? Did we finish the fight? Yeah, we finished the fight.
Do you like shiny gems as much as those other fellows? I admit the king's stone was pretty, but hardly as tasty as a nice crumb of stale bread. Oh well, whatever tickles your whiskers.
So, for now, you still haven't seen what combat truly's like. We kind of skipped combat there entirely. But it's turn-based, using action points. So if you've ever played original Fallout and Fallout 2, then you know how action points work.
Broken.
There's a few other games that have used it. I can't really think of any major ones off the top of my head right now, but
This seems to be broken.
action point essentially just gives you a certain amount of points, and you can do so many actions based on how much that action costs. So not quite what D&D does. D&D is more of, you have 3 types of actions. You have your quick, you have your reactions, your full actions, and your well, you also have free actions and bonus actions. And you can do all of those at least once during a turn. And then movement counts as a free action. Free actions, usually you can do multiple of those as long as they are considered a free action. And so movement is considered that, at least for the amount that you supposedly can move initially without. So the difference between that and AP is that AP, your movement counts towards that. In combat. And you'll see what I mean when we get into a proper fight, because we have yet to do so.
I guess someone else got here first.
There was a proper vase there. Okay. Alright. And this is where they want us to learn the split mechanic, where we can split our party members up. So, I have to stand on this. Scarlet has to... Okay, so we split. And then Scarlet has to go off on her own. Step on the next one. And let me through. And then we re-party up. Although I'm gonna hide. Oh.
A living rat dares disturb the slumber of the dead. A thieving fool insults the sanctity of the grave. The bloodstone defiler, where is it?
Okay, so, I can still do this. Now, if I wanted to, I could attack him while Roderick is in conversation with him as Scarlet. But I'm actually going to go ahead and let the conversation happen because story.
In life, I toil to care for these holy grounds. In death, I protect them from profaners and poachers. The legacy of Cecile is mine to preserve. Her traitors are mine to destroy.
Bloodstone, I know not what you mean.
I suppose you only crept among these sacred tombs for leisure. I suppose you had no lust for the treasure of the dead. Ha!
I met a trio of strange cult-like figures before the entrance of this tomb. They seem to have a precious stone in their possession.
Strange indeed. Robed indeed. Your tricks will not save you from retribution, deceiver. The Bloodstone, deliver it now, and I may deign to end you quickly.
I'll take my leave.
Run if you like, Defiler. Whichever way you take leads you to the grave.
Okay, so he's going to attack me. And with that knowledge, we're not going to let him get the first hit. In fact, we're going to ensure we have it. Let me see if there's like, what do we got? Increases both the damage of your melee attack and your movement speed at the cost of your precision. We'll cast that, actually. We'll cast Divine Light. Sets the warm status and decreases target's willpower and bodybuilding within the spell's area of effect. And since we're not technically in combat, it actually is essentially free for us to do all these things. Now we're gonna hit him. Come on. Shit. Come on. Why am I missing? Okay, I guess we had to wait. I remember being able to do stuff outside of that, so I don't know. But yeah, see, it costs AP to move. They moved me, which pissed me off now because, like, I should not be moved like that. They fucked me. But we're gonna cast Divine Light on him because it looks like it didn't work outside of combat. Ah, can't be applied. Got it. In that case, we are going to try to get ready to deal with his minions on this end. And we'll have Roderick take him on. So, see, movement costs like an AP for like whatever, per like meter, and then using battering ram, it costs 4. And so I'm gonna just ram into him. And then I'm also gonna encourage.
We've come too far to lose to such foes.
Ah, he's got opportunity. Because certain characters have opportunity. Not all characters have opportunity, like in D&D. In D&D, everybody gets opportunity attack. In the Divinity game, at least Original Sin, not everybody has opportunity. Oh!
Death never dies, fool. Death in 1,000 forms rules all.
And then we can end our turn, since we don't have enough movement. And we're going to do the same thing here, kind of prepare for our next... Well, hold on. Yeah, flee takes us to the next waypoint, so we don't want to do that. We're going to save our AP. Oh, he's still alive. I forgot he comes back as a ghost for a second round. Oi. Okay. Boom. We kicked your butt again. Bam. And now I have like 12 AP because I saved it from the last one. So now we're just gonna go in and kick their ass. Now to loot. Okay. Oh yeah, do they wanna? Nope. Okay, just our log has stuff. Can't equip that yet because we are not level 2.
Here lies Master Ragequin's second apprentice, killed by dying.
Killed by dying. Nice.
This seems to be broken.
Here lies Master Ragequin's first apprentice, killed by a falling corpse.
No. Alright, so now we know why those cultists ran off. We technically couldn't fight them. I don't think. At least not the way that we came from. Thought you could. I thought I remembered getting into a fight with them before, but eh. Oh, and this is why a shovel's useful. You never know what you're gonna find. Let's make sure that... that's ready. Because we're going to need that.
Another one for the collection.
And you can turn it into a more point and click style this way. But I generally like having the free reign of movement.
Hold it right there, orc scum! No one slips past the Legion unchallenged.
Calm down, Junius. Doesn't look like one of them orcs to me. Not a single horn in sight, you know.
Just hold your tongue with you, Bibius. Can't be too careful. We are sworn to protect Scythiel.
We are here on Source Hunter's business. Here are our orders.
So, you're sorcerers, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that, Trim? We can't read, my friend. So for all we know, those papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for a 2-bedroom birdcage. They don't prove a thing.
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads. He has books large as a house, that one. Yeah, he'll squeeze the truth out of you, one way or another.
The wizard, you say? Sounds good to me. Lead the way.
The wizard, you say?
Oh.
Sounds good to me. Lead the way.
Excuse me? I'm not going to be pushed around by two inebriates. I say we sober them up, and quickly too.
No. Killing these men may anger the entire city.
These two almost mistook us for orcs, and would have attacked us for no reason. We must rid the city from menaces such as these.
I don't know if it's letting me win. Normally it doesn't. Okay, I was about to say, like... Normally the computer still fights.
No, we'll do as I say, and there's an end to it.
Captain, come along. We're not far from the city.
Yay, we've got some NPCs hanging out with us. Normally I do have to fight these guards, so this is nice.
What the hell's happening down there? Orcs! Bloody orcs! Come, let's go back to the bridge. Let the source hunters handle their big brutes.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I did forget that one time I did get them to come with me, and yeah, this is what happens. They run off. We'll let Roderick deal with that one, and then Scarlet will be able to get past him. Ah, Scarlet's caught up in it now. Damn it. I was trying to get her around it. Looks like we're winning. We're gonna kick his guy's butt, and then we'll come back and explore after, because there's something I want to try to make sure we can do.
Who was that joker leading those orcs? Those orcs had a human commander.
We're amphibious and
How very
genius.
curious.
Didn't they hear the
And how
fight?
very disquieting.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel.
Blaze in the harbor. We need help.
Yep.
Come on, then. Put your backs into it.
Come on, mate. Put your back into it.
Are these the biggest battle?
Another fleet.
Why, oh why can't I do what I want?
We mustn't let the fleet spread to the harbor.
Shit. She has to be the one that talks to the cat if we're gonna do what I need. Oh shit. Okay. Come on. It quick loaded a completely different gameplay of this. Thanks, game. At least the autosave is where I need it to be.
One day, comrade, vengeance will be ours.
Okay, now it's fine if he talks to him.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel.
Blaze in the harbor. We need help. Fast.
On it.
What if the orcs are sinking another fleet?
Frizzle to deluge!
Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city.
I was summoned here by a cat.
So you were, and so you weren't. Behold, there we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder.
Please tell me more about the murder.
It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead.
Where can I find the scene of the crime?
Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek.
A counselor has been murdered, so I assume there are some suspects.
So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed, but to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow.
There's something else I'd like to discuss. May interest you to know that the orcs we took care of were led by a human.
A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts, a shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss such a curious event out of hand.
What exactly is the trouble you're having with the undead?
Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years, the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistae, they'd have gotten the better of us by now. Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane.
From what I've seen and heard, this isn't the first time you've had problems with marauding orcs.
Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's already choking throat, and it shows no signs of abating. We've cordoned off the western beach where most orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Maybe they're after some pirate's treasure, the fools.
Do tell me a bit more about this cat trick of yours.
Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking a feline guise? Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate speech, perhaps humanity's greatest asset, cannot give expression to something so inextricably innate. To be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your witness. You couldn't possibly imagine the thrill. But of course, it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of 2 worlds.
I'll take my leave.
I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Feel free to visit me whenever you want. I've set up a workshop in the Legion's headquarters. Once you're there, just take the stairs, but do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Sicil. And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove to be mere mice, and you the dauntless mouser.
Sects, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Ahu mentioned?
Well, maybe not today, but once, because we're about to end today's video. But once I get, first I want to double check all the corpses.
Taken before his time. Far before his time. Taken before his time. Far before his time.
Because we were kind of in a rush after the battle. Because I wanted to make sure that we could save that burning ship. Because you can actually miss out on saving that ship. So I had to make sure that we did. Oh, I didn't realize you could go this way. This is another way to save the ship. Could have gone here and done the spell from here. Good to know. For the next time I play it. Alright. Let's level up.
I said myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece now, I'll walk out that door.
Good on you. These boss men respect confidence. So what do they say?
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
Alright. So thank you all, as usual, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you really like our content, check out the Patreon, which is linked down below, where you can watch our content a week before it's uploaded to YouTube. And also, be sure to check out the Discord link down below, where you can come hang out with us and be a part of the community. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye.